All right. So let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. I'm assuming you can hear me okay. And yeah, you can. Okay. I don't have any special microphone with me. All right. And if you've got your feet on the floor, have them about a hip's width apart and, shoulders aligned with your hips. Feel the sits bones in your chair. Align your ears with your shoulders. And just imagine you've got this beautiful string of pearls of light, your spine, stretching from the base all the way up through the crown. Just putting some space in between those vertebrae. Then go to the crown of the head and just relax any tension, release any tension. Relax the face, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, the jaw, the back of the head. Allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And then just bring your awareness to the sensations of your breath. The nostrils, the chest cavity, the belly. And just allow your breath to, kind of bring you a little bit grounded, bring you kind of into yourself, enabling you to concentrate. Be aware of any sound in your environment, just allowing all the sounds to be there. And then just check in with your mind, see what's going on in the mind, and try and put some space in between your thoughts. Just allow the thoughts to arise and abide. And then just watch them kind of float away if you don't follow the, usual story. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, your strangers, the ones you don't like. And notice that these relationships are interchangeable. They can kind of, due to impermanence, they can sort of swap places. That friend, that enemy, that stranger. And this, remembering all these people are equal, they all want to be happy, they don't want to suffer, and they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, by extension, all the sentient beings. And, we can think of all those people in Texas. Coral's about to have her operation. May it be completely successful. And I'd like to think about my dear friend Christina Ma, who's organising our pilgrimage, our trek up to Laudo's, just broken her knee. So she's lying in bed feeling sorry for herself. So I just wanted to, I'll let her know we're thinking about her anyway. Okay, so we think we'll do this practice this evening for all these people of our life and also all the sentient beings. So remembering there is no negativity that can't be purified, and this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. And we start with this practice of Vajrasattva in the context of the four opponent powers. And we start with regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and so having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We don't want any more suffering than we already experience or have experienced in our life. And so logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And we can regret anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and then think, oh, okay, like I'm sick of this suffering. So what can I do? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we have two little sections here. One is refuge, the other is compassion. And we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, Buddha Vajrasattva. And he has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing Buddha Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And imagine he's made of this radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment, infinite wisdom, infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, and the very beings we've harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you, and we have compassion for them because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. So we just make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and we think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to the power of remedy, and this is actually the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And there, when we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kur Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anorakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawa Sidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drina Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drina Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drina Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others with your body. And the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you, all of this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So again, feel really happy that your speech is completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So, it's the same as we've been saying. It's sort of instantaneous, like when you walk into a room and you flick on a switch and the light comes. So it's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, it's like someone's flicked on a switch, and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind is completely disappears. So all the depression and anger and bitterness and grudges and just kind of like jealousy and disappointments, all of this instantly dispelled. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Sitokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Sitokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified, and think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. So imagine Vajrasattva very happily again sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely. So you imagine the nectar flowing down, pushing out all the negativity of the body, and then flowing up, pushing out all the negativity of the speech, and then the light kind of coming and blasting all those delusions. And this happens all at the same time. And this way you completely eradicate all the sort of even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jida Mebowa Sitokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Matsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jida Mebowa Sitokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jida Mebowa Sitokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jida Mebowa Sitokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jida Mebowa Sitokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jida Mebowa Sitokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jida Mebowa Sitokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your omniscience, your enlightenment, have been removed. And so now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's really crucial because here is where we decide, we're not going to do something anymore, or we're going to try and think about refraining from it. And so, without making a kind of a decision like that, it's not really those habits that we have are not going to change. So we really do have to decide. And then that becomes like a kind of it does a shift in the mind, and it's like a beacon that guides the body and the speech and the mind in new directions. So really rejoice always in your effort for coming along to this practice. I've had a bunch of different people this week, so it may have been a little bit, I don't know, maybe a bit jarring to have it done this way and then this way and then this way. So, but it's also excellent to, get to do it with different people and each other. So anyway, rejoice in your efforts, and then think about something you'd like to work on maybe between now and tomorrow. So let's imagine Vajrasattva's delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate a little bit on emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while, and we can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side, And you can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. It's always good to question our reality, what we're seeing, what we're hearing. So imagine now we dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created during this purification to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And also for Lou, I didn't mention you, sorry Lou, at the beginning. I hope you're doing okay. Lou, we can put you on the prayer list here, the Nune prayer list.
That would be good. Thank you.
Right. So Lou DeSantis, okay, cool, no worries. All right. With purified afflictive spheres at heart, annihilating every karmic sphere, arriving atop dry land from flooding oceans, emerge from yoga's perilous dark grove, released from general, minor, and complete afflictions and their latent tendencies, with insight, means, and foremost empathy, achieving fruitful aims for living beings, abiding object free through all perceptions, with consciousness as object with cessation, with every being the object of his mind, with knowledge that's the mind of all the Buddhas. Okay. We're doing 20 verses of that a night here. That will get us through the whole sutra. I mean, my friend Venerable Angie worked it out. She has a degree in accounting, so she's always good at the maths. Anyway, all right, everybody, it's so lovely to see you. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you guys on Monday. And stay safe until then. Lots of love. Thank you so much for hosting, Shayla. Bye. All right, bye, everyone.